Welcome back. This is day 2 of our 30 days of opals. I have a couple of opals here that are all dopped up and ready to go. This will be day 2, this will be day 3, so we're ready to roll on that. I do have some others that are in the process of drying the glues on them to make some more triplets. That way we can keep going. I've got some candidates for natural opals that will dop up, cut some of those. So yeah, here we go. Let's head to the cabbing machines. Okay, this will be the opal we're cutting on day 2. You can see there's a little bit of color. I've got it glued to a obsidian base, thin layer of opal, and you can see this is a little bit of a thicker piece than some of them. So this was a thicker opal bar, and then I got a pretty thick crystal cap. Will remove quite a bit of that material, so it won't be quite so thick on the top of it. So we're going to go ahead and start here on our 80 grit wheel. Remove the bulk of it, get into shape. We'll move over to the 220 grit and on down the line. So at this point, we need to determine what shape we're going to make. I've got where this has a little bit of an inclusion here on this end. So we're going to take off that corner of it. So if I cover that, and I knock off that little bit there, we're pretty much in an oval shape as it is. So that's probably the shape that we're going to end up with. So anyway, here we go. Even though that's a fairly aggressive 80 grit wheel, the amount of pressure that I push against it is going to determine how fast it takes off material. So I was not pressing very hard there. I'm going to go ahead and take off a little bit around this outside edge because it'll be quick and easy. Alright, that kind of wrapped it in. Now we'll move over to this next wheel. Alright, now we can go ahead and tune this up. There's still a little bit of a spot in this edge here that I need to work on to get rid of, and it's where the opal wasn't quite all the way to the edge, and now I've got some glue and things in there that it just doesn't need to be in this opal. So we're going to work on getting that out. And looks like that probably about did it. So now I've got a little bit of a flat spot, so let's work that. Round that out a little bit on both sides. That looks. Boy, I felt like she dropped on the flat spot. As I spun that around, it just kind of sat right against the wheel, so I know there's a flat edge there, because it should have just spun around nice and easy. That tells me it's kind of rounded all the way. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to go ahead and fine tune this. I want the edge of this crystal cap to come down and meet right where the opal layer is, and meet up pretty darn close to that. So we're going to take this around and around. I'm going to get down here closer to my wheel so I can see a little bit better. I am looking at this side profile, looking to see if I'm down close to that edge, and I'm pretty much there. So now I'm going to take and change my angle probably 30 degrees or so. And we're going to roll around this top a little bit, and I'm going to remove a little bit more. Not as high of a dome on that as it was. Kind of rolling that around. That's going to give me a little bit of a profile to follow. Rock it back and forth. And then I can take and spin it around a little bit. Look at the overall shape. I'm going to have some flat spots right here, and that's okay. This wheel, this next wheel is going to take care of that. So let's move over to it. This is my soft or foam backed wheel, so when I press against it, it's going to conform to the shape a little better. It's not that hard solid wheel, so I can remove some of those edges, and I'm just going 180 degrees straight across and rolling it. Rotate a little bit, roll it, rotate a little bit. Once I get her there, I can kind of spin it a little bit. It feels pretty rounded. I can look at it close. You're going to start seeing those pin fires in this opal are starting to show up. So that's pretty much it for that wheel. We're ready to move over to the polishing wheels. So we'll go to this wheel, and we're going to take the same process. We're going to rock it back and forth. We're almost removing nothing here at this point. We're just enough to take out scratches from the previous grits. Alright, we'll move to the next wheel. Same thing, same rotation, same movement. Just removing scratches from the previous ones. Takes less and less time. The finer the scratches are, the quicker they come out. So hopefully you guys are seeing those colors as I'm spinning that, because from the edge we get some different flashes than what we're seeing from the top, which is kind of cool. Alright, let's move to the next wheel. Alright, there we go. That's That's where we sit for now. Let's change some wheels and we'll keep polishing. Alright, now you can pick up some of those side flashes. And from the face, should be some little pinfire flashes. Let's zoom in, see if we can get those to maybe focus in on that. I don't know. You get such a high polish on that dome that all you're seeing is the lights off of. I'm trying to light this up anyway. So I've got this wet. It's got aluminum oxide powder into it. So what I'm kind of doing is burnishing this quartz cap. Okay, so kind of burnish that quartz cap. Now you can see the pin fire at that angle, and then you should be able to see the broad flashes from the side now. So anyway, there's day 2's opal. Come back, join us for day 3 tomorrow. I went ahead and put this in the freezer and took it off the dop stick. Then I ground the back down so it wasn't quite as thick. And this is the opal that we've got out of it. Pretty little opal.